What's poppin' YouTube? Back at it again with another episode for y'all, man. So make sure y'all comment, like, subscribe before we get into this evening's content. Let's get right into it, man. Y'all read the title. Let's get busy. All right. So we got Kanye West and Candace Owens showing up to whatever event. I don't really care where they was at. The statement already been made, which was on the back of their shirts talking about White Lives Matter. Now, you know me, I like to go into semantics and compartmentalize just different optics and point of views and positions and come up with just across the spectrum, an overall point of view. So that way you can get the ups and downs, the good, the bad, everything in between. So let's get into it. So the first point I would like to make is people's initial reaction. Now, they're calling them like Kanye West and, you know, he on the other side and he repping the other side. Now that's just like one extreme. We're gonna talk about one extreme and we're gonna get all the way to the other side of it. So one extreme is, obviously they're calling him a sellout, everything in between, this and that. And people just taking it for what it is, calling them out. You know they'll get down. I mean, even though, even beforehand him, showing up to the White House, visiting Trump, everything in between, so I'm not going to speak on the behalf of the black community, but there is a portion that I guess resents that kind of behavior, because it seems like you choosing the other side publicly, so that's one hand. Now the middle part, which I feel like plays on one side or the other is, how would I phrase this? Well, basically, it could be, symbolization, reverse psychology, sort of weaponizing, you know, um, weaponizing pretty much symbolism and tokenism and using reverse psychology. Just kind of like how, some people would look at Black Lives Matter and the way that it was created. Not sure if it's true or whatever. I'm not a conspiracy theorist, so I'm not going to just be like, oh, matter of fact this, matter of fact that. It's just all for, conjecture or speculation, however you want to take it. How they were saying it was created by a white guy and, all the donations that went from everybody trying to support the cause of, unarmed black people being gunned down by the police. I don't, side note, I don't phrase it police brutality. Like, what is that? It's police murder, bro. We see it on camera, and this is all the stuff that's on camera. That's besides the point. The point is that how, these people that was in charge of the funds of the organization started to withdraw funds, buying up houses, pretty much just, ran a whole scam and a scheme to, play on people's hearts and pretty much finesse them out of their hard-earned money that was supposed to be contributed towards a very important cause. So as one, that's another perspective. But then the third perspective is, which kind of correlates back to the first one, but it's a bigger picture sense. So when people, I feel like White Lives Matter is just another face to a cause that should only had one face to it. Black Lives Matter. Now, let's get to how this all started in the first place. Black Lives Matter. Why did it start? Why was it said? And what was the contextual, point of why it was being said and how to get it misconstrued and how did we get to this point? So initially, when people were just saying Black Lives Matter, it was a reminder of telling people like, hey, we matter, okay? Like, forget what you heard on TV, forget how y'all talking about us. At the end of the day, our lives matter too. Now, how I don't want to say the general consensus, but maybe just how some people misconstrued that because they may not have liked the delivery. They took Black Lives Matter, instead of putting two at the end, they put only. So they put Black Lives Matter only. So then that gave people the license to try to put all lives matter to counteract Black Lives Matter because people were just thinking that we only matter when common sense would tell you all lives matter but black people, in a sense. You feel me? So that's why we were trying to include ourselves because all lives matter was just something that should have not be said. It's just kind of like saying that the sky is blue without, it's kind of like not being able to say sky without the color blue in it. It's kind of, it's oxymoron. Wet water. You get my point. So people came out with all lives matter, and you had another face to it, blue lives matter. Trying to basically say like, okay, well, police get in harm's way as well, and wrong gets done to them, which people are not saying that. But this is the general point that I want to make about Black Lives Matter. It's not saying that, okay, what is being done to us is a double negative. What's being done to us is not bad, it's horrible, it's horrific, it's all kind of evil. But it's not only the executive branch, which has to deal with the police and the confines of the police system, but it's also the judicial branch as well, which is the courts. You feel me? They giving these people a slap on the wrist, they letting them off. They're not sitting up there serving justice towards people that's supposed to be enforcing the law, giving people a license to try to put themselves above the law just because of a certain shade of who are you doing what to. You feel me? So that's why, you had Kaepernick kneeling. We've been fighting this fight for a long time. It's always been an uphill battle. And we just trying to shine light, to a problem that's been, just carrying on for generations. Okay? So the reason why white lives matter, like, I understand what Kanye's doing, but all he's doing is diluting and getting away from what it was originally the discussion was supposed to be about, centered around. Now you're diluting it. Now you're having too many conversations, too many problems. And this is why our word priority is so important, because you have to handle the most damaging thing and then start to work your way down to things that may not be as extreme. And I'm going to end it all by this, okay? When people are protesting, and it's not to say that protesting isn't needed, our voices don't need to be heard, but for what people in the 60s, see, we are these activists that didn't evolve and thinking that we're fighting the same fight. The civil rights stuff, even though there's still some things that need to be worked out, a lot of that stuff has already been distinguished and put away from. So marching out in the streets and yelling and holding up signs, as far as the people that's really a part of all these corporations that uses symbolism to try to act like they're on our side and stuff like that, they know that, hey, at the end of the day, regardless of how hurt and how broken these people are, they're going to go back to work eventually. They're going to get tired. They're going to stop saying the same things. And eventually it's going to subside and things are going to go back to its normality. But I can say, this is what I'll say, not only just the black people, just people that's been oppressed and all kind of people that's been discriminated. This is a different kind of fight. We cannot use the same strategies that were used half a century ago and think that same thing can be applied now, because we're fighting a more complicated fight. So this is my suggestion. Instead of fighting out in the streets, acting like the louder you hear, the louder you yell, the more they're gonna hear. People got to start fighting with their wallets, man. Stop spending money at places. Stop endorsing. That's like going to a McDonald's wearing I don't know, a vegan shirt, but then you're sitting up there ordering a number one. Like, you gotta, your actions have to match the words that you use. This is a totally different fight. Once that bottom line starts to get affected, that's when things start to interchange and move around. Why do you think other communities, when they say something, it carries weight? Why? Because their community bands together, and when they say something, not only they're gonna not only protest, but they're gonna go through a prohibition. They're gonna prohibit certain kind of spending or certain kind of behavior to further drive their point. Like, hey, we're all this in together. But if you think you finna attack one of us, you attacking all of us. So we're not finna go here. We're not finna spend money there. That's why you got all these different communities, whether it be, like, y'all know what's up. So that being said, I'm gonna end this video off with that. Make sure y'all comment, like, subscribe. Thanks for watching. I'm gonna have more content on the way. I'm out of here.